Another thing, what's another thing that happened, which is kind of crazy. My companion, my third companion, like she loves telling the story because she thinks it's so funny. Like I said before, I grew up in Ohio. There's no mountains in Ohio. I was in my second area, which is in Park City, very much in the mountains. And so driving there was an adventure. That's for sure. And I remember we were making a trek out to go visit the stake president. We had this meeting with the stake president, and he lived kind of far off up this mountain. And so we were driving, and all of a sudden my companion was like, "Oh, we missed that turn back there. Like we were supposed to turn, and we were on this like incline." And so, and as missionaries, you can't back out without like you need to have somebody back you. And so like so my companion got out and she backed me down like so we can actually make this turn. No one else was around on that road, so it was fine. And she backed me, still on this incline. I stopped, like my foot is on the brake, and because I'm taking this left-hand turn, I had the wheel turned, getting ready to make this turn, and she gets back into the car. I take my foot off of the brake. And gravity starts being a problem. Before I was able to get my foot on the gas, our car starts rolling backwards. Oh, it was so scary. And because my wheel is turned this way, we start going back that way. And like off the road, down the mountain. And that was terrifying. We go off the road, down like kind of over the ditch, over the sidewalk, down like past like, we're in grass now, and rocks, and practically falling down this mountain. And she was just like, she's like, put it up, like I was like, she was like, go forward, like foot on the grass, like the gas, and my foot, I was totally on the gas. Like gravity was just stronger, and oh, that was terrifying. I remember my companion, because she was so nervous and stuff, she was like laughing, and I was stressing out. I'm like, we're gonna die, and she was like, had this grand idea where she's like, let's jump out, and I'm like, Sister Neme, like, we can't jump out, like, this is not a movie. And just goes, like, in my head, I'm thinking, we're responsible for this car. We might die. Like, what if we don't die? We're going to get in so much trouble. And I was so worried because there was a house, like, a little far off. I'm like, what if we go down so far that, like, we hit the house? I didn't want to hit the house. So I'm, of course, like, I'm taking a great break. I'm like, if I can't go forward, we need to stop. But gravity, like I said, still going down the mountain. But I was able to, got to the point where we stopped. I'm like, okay, fine, we're stopped. Thank goodness. But now we're in the middle of this rocky field on the hill, on the side of a mountain, and a little ways away from the road. And so I'm like, okay, car is in drive. I kind of start to drive over to where the road is again, and it's tough because we're like going over these rocks and stuff, and I had to go over the sidewalk and then get to the road, and like I said, there's a ditch, but we're driving, and then all of a sudden the car stops, and I was just like, she's like, go forward, come on, let's go. And I'm like, the car's not moving. Like, we can't go any farther. And so it's like, at this time, it's kind of dark outside. We couldn't see very well. Like, as this was all happening, the sun was going down. She gets out and kind of tries to, like, look to see what might be the problem. I'm like, are there rocks in the way? Like, what's going on? We need to get back onto the road. and she kind of starts moving rocks out of the way and stuff or whatever, and like I keep trying, and she's like, it's not working, like I can't move the car. I put the car in park. I get out. I look at the car, and I go, Sister Nemeh. She goes, yeah. I'm like, none of the wheels are on the ground. we had gotten up on this like little kind of tiny hill in the grass, and the car was like that. It was off the ground. And I'm like, we can't get out. Like, oh, it was ridiculous. Thankfully, though, and this should not be a reason for you to have car problems in Park City. Avoid it as much as possible. Very bad. Wasted a lot of time. But we knew the members who owned the towing company in Park City, so that was great. We gave them a call. We got towed out. My first towing, like, that experience happened. So that was great. And I just, yeah, it was cold. It was dark, and we had to get towed out. And I think even at this point in time, it started snowing or something, and that was bad. So, fun. Fell down a mountain.